which explain how online learning is more cost-effective than offline learning. Ladies and gentlemen, during a pandemic, people do social distancing to reduce the spread of the virus, and therefore many countries impose quarantine for their communities, which have an impact on education. Coronavirus has made a Gen switch from face-to-face mode to online pedagogical setting. On the other hand, this situation will make the institution, which had previously been reluctant to change, but forced to receive developed technology. The desire will illustrate the favorable side of online teaching and learning. With the help of online teaching models, we can help students to learn at any time and in every part of the world. Respectful all the audience, I strongly agree to our motion. Due to the spread of COVID-19, the government of the Republic of Indonesia has instructed the people to stay at home and conduct self-quarantining until the condition improves. All schools are striving to take preventive efforts with the aim of protecting the health of students, the teachers, and employees in the school. All of the educational activities are conducted using online methods.
May I say something, please?
Yes, please.
Okay. You said that in face-to-face learning, more cost effective because they don't waste their money. But I think that in offline learning, even we waste our money more, because in schools we must photocopy our materials, we must buy books to learn. So what do you think about it? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to good information. I think I don't convey the variable in this debate. I start by definition or background issue. I don't already the variable in this
I'm
debate.
sorry, you must listen me my questions carefully.
Now I'm already to start my variable at the motion.
I'm sorry, I don't talk about variable. I talk about cost more effective.
You don't understand. I think I start the debate competition with the definition background issue, don't variable, and about the motion. Now I already to start my speech at the about the variable at motion.
I'm sorry. I know that you will talk about the definition of your motion, but my question is.
Okay, I get the point. You means the online learning more cost effective than offline learning. I think I must say that. Your questions or your clarification information don't or how to our motion. Yes, I thank you. I continue to my arguments. When we learn at home or talk online, of course, we could pay more last cost, because students no need to pay such as transportation fee. The second one, copies for learning modules. And the three, there is not any payment such as buy for snack or candies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the first speaker of automatic team. Next, I will call the first speaker of opposite team.
Okay, good morning, honorable judges, all the audience, all teachers and students, especially from the government team. Okay, our motion today is online learning is most cost effective than offline learning. As the opposition team, I really disagree with our motion today. Uh, your team, the government team says that online learning is more cost effective than offline learning. But taking online courses is convenient and can save your money. But they as valuable as traditional in-person classes? Of course no. As more of the we do on a day-to-day basics moves to the web, online courses are exploding in popularity. The ability to relax at home and use our own personal computers, the obtain college credits is compelling more and more students to ditch the classroom and to pursue an education online. Technology progress has obviously made our lives easier and more efficient. With that, it only seems fitting that we should move towards utilizing online learning in our college, in our schools, of course. I will tell you about the key that why we don't disagree our motion today. First, I want to tell you about lack of interpersonal skill development. Online courses usually require little to no face-to-face interaction with classmates and teachers. Information about assessments is often posted online and may be complete at the leisure without having to attend class meetings. So it's free to teachers, to students to complete their task. While this convenience is nice, it lacks that interactive elements of traditional classroom that help students to develop crucial interpersonal skills for the future. When students are required to interact with classmates and professors, they gain confidence in their ability.
Interruption, I will say something.
Yes,
What you say is misunderstand. Based on our motion today, we just talk about cost effective.
yes, I got your point. You said that I understand our motion today that online learning is more cost effective, but with my argument, lack of interpersonal skill, it means that students in their home they don't waste
Okay,
their money.
interruption. I want to clarification. I think you said about benefits to students. About you talk about study at home, not about cost effective.
Okay. When I'll answer your question, thanks for the questions. I think that in online learning, we cannot waste our money more, of course, because in our phones we can use it, we can search it in Google by ourselves, of course, and so it can easily to be understand and read from the Google. So that's my point. Let me continue. Lack of the memory development. Why do so many students sign up for the online courses?
Interruption.
Hold
I
on,
want
please.
to say
Hold on, please. Well,
interruption.
Yes, please.
You say the benefit.
Okay, this is enough. Let me finally our argument. Well, one reason is that they do not have to attend an actual class and can learn at home. A more serious and often spoken reasons may be the fact that online learning does not require students to study and memorize material in the same way that traditional learning does. And next, I want to talk about lack of students' motivation. One problem with online classes is that all too often they motivate us to get a degree but not to learn. Having debates in these class discussions with professors and peers who all have unique personalities motivate students to develop their own opinions and to build confidence of voice them. So it means that if we don't waste our more money, so this can support students to build their motivation to learn. So that is important. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
That's the first argument of the opposite view. To the second speaker of affirmative team, please deliver your speech.
Thank you for the opportunity given to me. I, as the second speaker from affirmative team, want to start my speech. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, especially opposition team, as we all know, online learning and offline learning happen right now, inviting controversy about which one is more cost-effective in its implementation. So, the first speaker from opposition team said, offline learning is have more benefits to student. You don't say about cost. Cost is mean what how much we pay. How much we pay. How much money we pay. So I will continue. The government, why do we say online learning is more cost efficient than offline learning? This is because the expense during online learning are not as much as expenses when learning, such as first, online learning, students and teachers who don't go to school. If online learning, student and teacher don't go to school, that's be a student and teacher saves their money for transportation. And second, if with online learning or face-to-face learning, for some students who if with online learning we use the internet and we use the smartphone for study. And
BOI, please.
yes, please.
Okay, please give me a example that online learning is better than offline learning. Thank you.
Okay, I will answer your questions. So if we study with online, that's be easy for student to get information, because a page as large of the internet, we can get more than we get at school. Yeah, I think that's so. So please continue. Please give me to continue my speech. Third, with the online learning, our money to pay a books be saved or be cost effective, because with online we just use the smartphone. No, use the book is minimal. Yeah, and then a government help student with the internet credits with cheap. Plus, study quits a government applies adjustment to use of BOS or school operation assistance to
BOI,
fulfill. No, thank you. To fulfill the needs for online study.
BOI, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, I think that in our area, internet network is bad. What do you think about it?
Okay, I get your point. Precisely because in our area, networks is bad. But now, government, especially the Minister of Communication and Information is doing the distribution of internet and electricity networks in several areas. For example, in Nagarawe, that's area now have the government have both electric and internet. So then we from affirmative team once again will confirm we disagree about we agree about this motion today. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the second speaker of affirmative team. Next, I will call the second speaker of opposite team. Please deliver your speech.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as a deputy minister, I want to continue argument from the Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, in this digital era, students need to learn face-to-face. The World Teacher Day, the British Council, Sophie Bartolo in 5 October 2015 argues that face-to-face learning process still has essential place in today's education. Indeed, normal study also needs some tools or technology to support learning process, such as computers. But it must be controlled by educator how to use it and how to operate it so that we can access the learning program easily. Ladies and gentlemen, why we need normal study during pandemic? Why normal learning is important for education sector now? Of course, we know all the reason itself. Nadiem Makarim in webinar filtered through Zoom meeting on YouTube Friday, 7 August 2020 last year, expressed that many troubles are faced by teachers, students, and parents during pandemic. He added that great obstacle to teachers such as, first, teacher find it to control students during pandemic and focus on curriculum achievement. Second, teacher more or less effective to teach so that teacher got low working of target. And then, teacher difficult to communicate with parents. Last, less of learning access whether because of network connection, internet, or finance issue. Then, the obstacles are faced by parents. First, parents are lost spirit accompany learning students at home because of another responsibility or business. Second, parents are difficult to understand about the lessons and couldn't motivate the children's spirit. And last, the trouble were occurred by students. First, students couldn't focus on learning process because of another business or another reason.
I will say something, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, I hear you said about the benefit of offline learning. You not say about cost. Cost is a money. Cost is a money.
Okay, I get your point. But I think that in normal study, teacher and if student and teacher meet and set place and set time, learning is very effective. So let me to continue.
Interruption, please.
No, thank you. And the last, the trouble were occurred by students.
Interruption, please.
No, thank you. Students couldn't focus on learning process.
Interruption, please. I will say something.
Yes, please.
Okay. Our motion today is about cost effective. Online learning is cost effective than offline learning. So please explain or give me example why you why you disagree about that. Or please give me example. Offline learning is most effective.
Please, I get your point. The real example are when the students will change or copy answer from Google or from our friends, so we can say that they learn for mark, not for real life. So let me to continue.
I will say something, please.
No, thank you. Students often feel boring when the tasks are overloaded.
Interruption, please. Excuse me.
No, thank you. The height of stress and bored set of isolation.
I will say something, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. A second speaker from opposition teams. You said about a good effective to study, or that is a motivation to study, not a cost effective.
Let me to continue. Imagine the trouble happened to us. Because of the trouble based on Mr. Nadim says, we have to choose what learning target is better for students. Face-to-face learning is the important ways to build students' motivation. Many factors affect academic achievement in the classroom. Each student brings unique strengths, experiences, and the varying degrees of support from family and the community. When students interact with each other and with content in meaningful context, learning is achieved. When positive relationships have been established in the classroom, everyone is more successful. Motivation is a skill that cannot be developed when students are allowed the complete text there of leisure. They may get the word alone, but it doesn't teach them how to combat and challenge text under the pressure of time. That's why we argue that the motivation is come from interaction between teachers and students. Students get more attention. That's all. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the second speaker of opposite team. To the third speaker of affirmative team, please deliver your speech.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity given to me. I'm as the third speaker from affirmative team. Want to start my speech? Start from 3, 2, 1. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, especially opposition team. Our team agree with online learning is more cost effective than the offline learning. Why? Because as we know, in the present time, the government asks the public to stay at home. And in education, students are asked to do learning from home. So that education is not stopped because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Closed wall also reduce crowds or baggage. Why is that? Because, like my colleague have said, like my partners say, first, student will not be burdened with transportation costs. Where this is felt by students whose residence in far from school. Even in this case, that many students are absent for school to reason of distance and cost. Second, students will also not be bothered by the cost of boarding for student whose residence is far away because students are hazard, so there will be no costs incurred. Third, students are not bothered with budget or the cost of eating and drinking, because if students stay in boarding house or dormitory, the cost of eating and drinking will automatically, please, no thanks, be taken into account. But because home learning costs eating,
Please.
yes please.
Okay. In online learning, we always pay money to school, but we don't go to school. How about it?
The next questions. But you say online study is please you say once again.
Okay. In online learning, we always pay money to school, but I will don't go to school. How about it?
I will continue my speech. This condition, we must to stay at home, and the government to instruct it to stay at home. We as the affirmative team confirm we disagree about you say in online learning we pay much money. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for the third speaker of the affirmative team. Next, I will call the third speaker of opposite team. Please deliver you.
Good morning, honorable educators, all members of this debate committee, all the audience. Good morning, especially to all friends from the government team. Ladies and gentlemen, face-to-face learning is a really effective way to learn knowledge and skills because it often combines different ways of learning, including writing, reading, discussion, presentation, project, group work, film clips, demonstration, and practice. This is where the teacher and the student meet in a set place for a set time for either one-on-one learning or most commonly in group class lesson similar to what happens in school. Many advantages we found in normal study or face-to-face learning. The benefits were more internet in the ground of student education. Why normal study motivate us? You will be able to concentrate hard on your learning because there will be less distraction than if you were at home. You can gain greater understanding, stories and real-world examples from teachers and others. You have a greater chance of completing your course successfully by doing it in a classroom situation. In this case, complication rate of teacher-led class is almost 5 higher and online-led learning. You may feel more comfortable and learn more easily in familiar traditional classroom situation. You can access more information and raise your understanding through teacher and other students' body language and voice. You have the opportunity to connect with problem solve and with other students from a wide range of backgrounds. Yes. Yes, please.
What you say about efficient offline learning to increase assessment or knowledge. But our motion today is not about motivation. But our motion today about cost. Cost between online learning and offline learning. Cost efficient.
Okay, I will answer your question. I think in normal learning, the student also can get many information. The student can learn from our teacher and also from books. Let me continue. You have a regular schedule and become a habitual learning. We also prepared well, have a discipline of time, rules of schools. I start from wake up in the morning with alarm bell and doing what we do every day, crack a word or school assessment. You have to make smarter choice and make this decision before you go to school. I go to school to develop skills and learn or just get a diploma. It's hard but important for us. Ladies and gentlemen, in this digital era, students need to learn face-to-face.
the World Teachers' Day, the British consul Sophie Partier argues that face-to-face learning process still has an essential place in today's education. Indeed, normal study also needs some tools or technology to support the learning process such as computers, but it must be controlled by educators how to use it and how to operate it so that we can access the learning program easily. Ladies and gentlemen, motivation is a skill that cannot be developed when students are allowed to complete tasks their own leisure. They may get the work alone, but it doesn't teach them how to complete a challenging task under the pressure of time. That's why, thank you.
Thank you for the last speaker of oppositive. Now I will call the reply speaker of affirmative. Please deliver your closing statement.
Thanks for the opportunity given to me. Now, online learning and offline learning are happening right now. So that is invite controversy from outside about what are cost effective in this method. So we are from affirmative team wanna say online learning is cost effective than offline learning, because when we study with the online learning, we just pay a little. We can save our money. First reason, we have helped by government about internet credit. That's a first. And a second, we don't go to school, so our money saves about transportation to go to school. That second. And third, if we study with online learning, we just need a few of books, because we study, we learn through the handphone with a smartphone. So our books, we need a few of books. If we study at school, or if we study with offline learning, we need much books. So our money is so we need much of money to buy a books. And then if we study at school, or if we in an offline learning, we have to buy something and at souls at canteen, or to buy something that we need to study at school, like a pen, books, sauce, photocopy our material for study, and also in this situation like pandemic COVID right now, we must to have an hand sanitizer. That's need money for buy hand sanitizer. Also mask. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the reply speaker from affirmative team. Now, to the reply speaker from opposite team. Please deliver your closing statement.
Okay, thanks for the chance that they've given to me. I want to make a quick recap of their arguments. The second speaker says that students can online learning. Students will more cost effective than offline learning. Of course, they say that online learning will more cost effective than offline learning. Okay. As the government team, of course you agree with this motion. And then the second speaker says that students and teachers don't go to school so that they can save their money. Okay, but uh, I really disagree with your argument because in schools students can easily use tools from the schools has already prepared, so students can use it to do their learning process. And the last you talk about in the reply speech you talk about uh, uh, students don't buy uh, a subsidy to have a online learning process. But I think that how about with other place in this place don't have internet connectivity, so that they must find a place, they must use their transportation to find a place, so that also that they will waste your time, they waste their more cost of money. And next, that I think that in offline learning, uh, we don't waste more our money, because everything we want to do, it's can't prepared in our schools. And next, also I think that we not only flexible in our save our money, but also in save our times. Uh, okay, I think that in offline learning we don't waste our more many money, uh, because uh, uh, when we compare it in online learning, when we compare it online learning, in online learning we we waste our money to waste to buy a subsidy, because the subsidy from the government only sent about 10 gigabyte. So I think that is not enough for our learning process. So I think that we need more subsidy. We need more subsidy. So also that is can waste our money, of course. Okay. And next, I want to talk about.
Okay, thank you for the reply speaker from opposite team. Ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end of the debate. I would like to say